Yeah, a lot of the time, blimey, especially on the farm, when I feel the goats have escaped, or I don't know what's happened, and
I just have this vision of you chasing around after these goats when you're in the middle of a coaching call or something.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Power to Live More with Joe Dodds.
Welcome to the Power to Live More podcast, all about productivity, organisation, well-being, energy and resilience. I'm Jo Dodds, and I started this show to enable interesting people to share their stories about how they use their power to live more, and by that I mean to do the stuff that they want to do more than the stuff that they need to or should do. It's about creating a life for yourself where you have the energy, health and space to be happy and fulfilled, spending your time as you'd like, whether that be at work, home or somewhere else entirely. That's your choice. Hi, this is Jo Dodds.
Hey, I'm doing the intros now.
Oh, okay.
Hi, my name is Ellie Dodds and I'm co-presenter. Today Joe is interviewing Simon Jordan of Simon Jordan Marketing. Simon and Joe first got talking via social media and then met in real life through networking in Kent, where we live and Simon was living at the time. Their paths have crossed professionally a few times with various speaking gigs, webinars and interviews. I was pleased to appear in the launch video for his One Planet, One Place website. A few months ago, Simon popped by to see Joe on his trip back the UK from France, where he now lives, and Joe asked him to come on the podcast, and here we are. In his late 20s and on a death wish, Simon Jordan weighed 23 stone, 322 pounds. He was binge eating and drinking and on drugs. Then 18 months later, after making a decision to change his life around, he now weighed 13 stone, 182 pounds. Finished the London Marathon at 3 hours 45 minutes and now clean from drugs and drink. Jump forward to his late 30s and Simon had just left the well-paid corporation world to start his own marketing company. 1 year in and wanting to work with clients internationally, he set up his own online TV channel, and then within 7 months he was speaking across the States and working with clients from California to New York, from Paris to Germany. Throughout Simon's life, he has taken massive action and achieved big results. He is the host of Simon Jordan TV, the highly acclaimed online TV show, where he shares his marketing hints and tips to a global audience. Simon is also the best-selling Amazon 5-star rated author of How to Skyrocket Your Business Without Burning Your Finger. With over 25 years working in marketing and advertising with some of the world's top brands such as Nike, Coca-Cola, Porsche, Sky TV and Wilkinson Sword, to name but a few. He is also an international keynote speaker offering business and marketing advice with a good portion of motivation and humour thrown in. Simon is branding and marketing coach working with clients from all over the globe, helping him to build profitable and powerful brands. Simon currently lives on an organic 32-acre farm in France with his partner and 3 stepchildren and various animals as part of their animal sanctuary. Simon is also the founder of One Planet, One Place, the philanthropic project to make a difference on the planet. Back to the studio.
I'm really pleased to be interviewing Simon Jordan of simonjordan.com. Hi Simon, thanks for joining me.
Hi Joe, lovely to be here. You're in the UK and I'm over in Normandy in France, and the Skype connection is fantastic.
It is, it's so clear, and unlike our French, I think, probably.
Indeed, oh yeah, don't start there. Mange tu, Rodney, yes.
So why don't we start by you telling me a bit about you, what you do and where you do it, clearly France, but a bit more about your sort of setup, if you like, your home
working setup?
What my home working setup? Well, at the moment, because we've moved to this farmhouse, it's a 13th century farmhouse, only about 6 weeks ago, 6 weeks, 2 months. So the office, which is an external barn, isn't properly set up yet. So they're currently working up from the kitchen table, and which is good enough. The internet's good here. So when it will be set up, I will have I've got a big iMac and a screen next to it, so it looks like a Bond set. But at the moment I'm working on my laptop. So yes, pretty straightforward. But I like to keep the area reasonably clutter-free. I don't like lots of mess everywhere. But yeah, it's just, with 3 young kids around and everything else, the animals, it's sometimes not easy. Certainly not from the kitchen table, that's for sure.
So flesh that out a bit then. What do you do? And
what do I do?
Why are you in France? And
good point. Well, I am a marketing branding consultant stroke coach. I help entrepreneurs, business owners, coaches essentially, and that's in my target market. Well, my target market is coaches, authors, speakers, and consultants. That's the crux of it. But what I do, Joe, is clients will come along to me, and obviously their marketing's not working. Maybe their branding's not right. They're not getting the recognition they want. They're not selling their products. They're not getting out there. Their brand isn't recognised. They're not known. They're not a key person of influence, or whatever the issue might be. So what I do, I will look at them and work out what is it that people buy from them. What is it about their personality that people love? We take that. This is about building the brand first off. So we take their energy, their passion, their love, those characteristics would go up to build their personality. We incorporated that into their branding. So really their online image, be it on Facebook, across any social media platform, their website is a true representation of who they are. So it beams out their personality. My job is to encapsulate their passion, their energy, their true personality in their marketing. So when someone comes across the website, they think, you know what, I really like this person. I get their energy. I get what they're about. I like what they're about. But also, on the flip side, is some people go, I can't stand that person. I don't like what they're about. Well, that's great, because you don't want the tire kickers. You don't want the difficult clients. And I now work more with sort of the energy side of it as well. It sounds a bit hippie, but it works when you get that energy right, when you get the true personality of the person. That's because we buy on emotion. When you get that in the website and all the marketing, it works. When their personality beams out across all social media platforms, that's what people buy into. So the other side of my business is my philanthropic side, which I can still say this hour, is One Planet, One Place. And this came about, if people check out my website, simonjordan.com, you'll sort of see my backstory and how I built the business. And I had simonjordan.tv, Simon Jordan radio shows, Simon Jordan blog, and I was doing all these things. I thought, you know what, it all sounds a little bit egotistical. It's got my name all over it, which is great for building your brand, but I started to make me feel a bit, not so much uncomfortable because it was working wonders, but the radio show, which is essentially a podcast, and I was interviewing these incredibly successful business owners, but it wasn't about the cars, the houses, all that kind of stuff. That doesn't really bother me. I'm not really interested in that. It was the backstories. It was where they were coming from. One guy interviewed a guy called Randy Gage, who could only be American with a name like that, but a really lovely guy. And he said that he'd been shot, he'd been stabbed, he'd been in prison, he'd been bankrupt, all these kind of horrific things, and he was on his friend's floor, living on his friend's couch, sitting on the floor at this time, thoroughly dejected with life and eating macaroni cheese of all things. And he said that was the lowest point. And he said, but I was at an advantage. I said, well, Randy, what do you mean that you were at an advantage? He said, well, I had nowhere else to go. The only way I could go was up, to go forward. I thought, that's fascinating. So it just really got me thinking about the other guests, and I used to, as to how I would be probing them and asking these deep questions. And I thought, there's more to business than this. The world isn't just about business; it's about love. It's about money, because we need money to do more things with. I think it was Franklin Roosevelt once said, if you want to help the poor, don't become one of them. Mm. So anyway, we found these amazing interviews, and I just one day. I think I was probably climbing a mountain or something like that, and this line came to me: don't think of the world as separated by countries. Think of the world as separated by ignorance. One planet, one place, because we're all on the same rock. We all come from the stars. If you want to get all hippie about it, and we're all fragments from the universe. Why can we not get on? There are more cells. There are more cells in our body than there are people on the planet. and it all gets on. We have to, otherwise we couldn't function. We'd die in an instant if the cells don't work. So why can we not get on? And that's where it all started. And I thought, I want to give something back. So in 2012, I launched One Planet, One Place. Had over 22,500 visitors on the first month. Second month, because I was chucking so much content at it, you'll understand this. Content is king. I was blogging, and I was doing a daily show for just almost killed me. I was interviewing all these people. We're on number one in Google on the second month out of 1.3 billion sites, which is just phenomenal, and even above the One Planet BBC TV program. Just because of the strategies I teach my clients, that's what I use to get it up there. And it was there, and it's still there. As I said, it's my philanthropic site, and it's there to really be the conduit for people's stories, people inspiring stories to get out there with my marketing knowledge and my connections, to be able to interview these people who I think, God, those are amazing stories. People who literally are doing incredible things on the planet. I want to be able to interview them and share their stories so my audience can see it. And the One Planet, One Place, the Facebook page, we're now at 19,000, 20,000, I can't remember now. And it's all organic. It's how we're doing it. We don't pay for likes. We don't promote the thing. It's just what we're sharing. We share. It's essentially me, inspiring images, and I say it's about inspiring change. I want people. I did a rant on Facebook a month ago called "No More Amen." I thought that's gonna get people listening, and it was really what it was. It was a picture on a picture of this young family. Very young. The eldest daughter must have been probably not even in double figures. Probably almost like Ellie's age, to be honest. Covered in brick dust, and the siblings, and she was holding a baby. It was an awful picture. Very, very sad. And it was basically her family, the parents have been killed. She's the only one left, so she's at this age, has to bring up the rest of the kids. And this person had posted this picture and just said, "This is terrible, blah, blah. Don't scroll past this without typing Amen." And I thought, what the bleep is Amen going to do for this family? Does that satisfy our guilt? Oh yeah, we'll just type these 4 letters and that's it. So I ranted on this, saying, I'm sick of seeing this thing. We can do more. We can all make a difference. Maybe not to that family because we're not there, but we could donate. We could do something. We could do more in our community. Don't just turn a blind eye and just go, "Oh, I'll buy a little badge and that'll do me. I'll type Amen," or whatever it might be. What can we do as human beings? Certainly over in the West, when we have everything for us, I say, gratitude is the language of the truly rich. We don't have to have so much to have gratitude, and to have gratitude. So what can we do with our abundant lives to help these people? So this rant went on, but it was great, and it made a difference. And I said on the video, I don't want you to watch this and think, "Oh yeah, that's good." I actually want you to feel uncomfortable. I want you to feel uncomfortable enough for you to actually take action. Because there's no point having all these ideas without taking action. So what can you do? How can you go and help? I mean, once a week, for half an hour a week, I volunteer for this charity called Silverline. I speak to this lady who's nearly 80. She lives on her own, doesn't have any family around her. I'm probably the only person she speaks to all week, some weeks. And I'm just that one voice for her. Half an hour out of my week, that's nothing. I'm not saying that to think, "Oh, look at me." I'm saying that to say we can all do something. Yes, we all have busy lives. I've got 3 stepkids here. We live on a farm. We've got 3 goats. We've got 5 horses. We've got a dog. We've got 2 cats, chickens. It's a busy time, but we can all do something. So that's what the video was about. So really, that's what One Planet, One Place is all about. Just inspiring change, to be that ripple, to be that stone in the pond. Just to, I can do something. It doesn't matter how small it is. It could be just smiling a bit more, saying thank you and looking in the eyes of the person who gave you the cappuccino this morning. So that's essentially what it's all about.
Brilliant. So it sounds like it's majorly hectic. You've just painted a little picture about what goes on. So what's the sort of typical day look like? And I appreciate, as in most people's cases, there isn't a typical day. But what sort of things are you, getting involved in? How are you delivering these services? Presumably not in person, mostly, as you're in a different country now.
Indeed. Sorry, if you're wondering what that noise is, my dog, one of my dogs, just moving all the chairs around. Happy, be quiet. He's a Springer Spaniel. Mad as a box of frogs, aren't you? Yes, I think he probably wants to go out in a minute. I deliver it. Basically, I coach all my clients via Skype. How we're doing it here. I've a big online presence, similar to you. And that's how I deliver it all. My clients come on, we discuss, they'll buy a range of coaching sessions. I work with them one-to-one. We'll do their branding for them if needed. We'll build the whole marketing strategy, collateral, all that kind of stuff. Or they just come on with coaching. I mean, I've got clients now right across the States. I run a group coaching group as well. Clients.
And then in between that, you'll pop out and feed the goats.
I will indeed, yeah. What is April and I, my partner, we're setting up an animal sanctuary. We're both vegans. I don't knit my own socks or my own yogurt, just to let you know. I'm 6'2", very broad, very fit, but I don't. Some people think, vegans, they're skinny people who don't look healthy. Well, no, far from it. But no, we're both animal lovers. So we've got this place. We've got 35 acres, and we wanted to do something with it. So we've got the opportunity. So the farm came with a fair few animals anyway, but now we've got horse, 2 donkeys, 2 ponies. We've got 4 goats now. We're getting 2 pigs, and it's brilliant. And we're going to be getting sheep and all that kind of stuff as well, which helps with the land. To be honest, we're going to be growing our own organic veg as well because it is an organic farm. And on site, we also have an organic brewery, which I think I probably mentioned. So yes, it's pretty hectic, but it's fabulous. I was speaking to a client earlier today. Actually, just said, when I'm not coaching, or I'm not working with my clients, I'll go out and I'll be fixing fences, stuff like we have people on we have gardens and things like that to help us access it. It's a lot of space to look after. But when I built the goat hut, I'd never built anything like that before. But I just remember watching a YouTube video thinking, yeah, I can do that, and I went out and did it. I bought all the gear. Afternoon
How hot
on Saturday.
Can it be?
Yeah, a very hot afternoon. It is very hot over here. Hammer and nails and built this thing, and it's fantastic. And we got the hay. It's watertight and it's brilliant. They're on this part of the farm where it's on a slope that goes down to the river, so they go down and drink from the river, and it's just the goats are very happy there. They're all girls. We don't want a billy goat. We don't want mating going on just yet. But it's they do escape every now and again, which is hilarious. But it's just I feel I'm putting something back as well. It is brilliant. For me, I'll just go up and I will. It sounds really hippie now, but I go out and I will just sit with the horses. I will just sit on the ground and they come around, and some of them lie down and just. It's brilliant, and it's such a switch off. I'll read the occasional books, things like that, but for me, it's just that connection. They don't have worries about business; they're just worried about the next bit of hay, or that's it.
Yeah.
And just to be around and connected with them and their energy, it's just I love it. And the goats, April calls me the goat whisperer, because they actually follow me around now when I go in there and just tidying up and fixing stuff. But it's brilliant to have that connection. We've got the dog. We're getting another dog now. As Happy needs a companion. Yeah. It's a brilliant place, and the kids love it as well. They go out and they ride around. We've got the river that runs through it as well, and
cool. Sounds great. So that whole relaxing piece, it tends to be out and about in the garden or
without a doubt,
on the farm. Yes.
Yeah. I try and do exercise most mornings.
Yeah.
I go out to one of the barns. There's got a space there, which we're going to be turning into a 4-bed retreat actually, which is going to be nice. But I just go in there and it sets my day up right. When I went for a run around the lake, we've got a lake which is only sort of 5-10 minutes from here. I drove down there. It's great. You can run around it. You can go boating and you can swim across it as well. So I just do that, and it just gets the blood pumping, and it's my time. I'm not good at meditating, looking at candles and listening to whales making love. That's just not my thing. But me running, I love it. I love it. And September this year, I'm hopefully, if my knees are good enough, because I was supposed to do the 3 peaks, which is climbing the 3 highest peaks in the UK, all in 24 hours for charity. My knees I've had issues with them. There have been problems. I couldn't do that, otherwise I would have been crippled, I think. So hopefully I'm training for that now, which will be in September.
Cool. I tried to do the 3 peaks once. I managed 1 1/4.
Oh, well, good for you. At least you tried it.
Well, I did one. I was very impressed. And then the second one, I started going up, and after 20 minutes, I thought, I'm going to hate coming down this one. I don't think I'll go any further. And then I was the only person on the coach cheering when they said that Snowdon was shut.
Oh, so did you start at Ben Nevis?
Yeah.
Well, that is the hardest one, because you're starting at ground level.
Yeah.
Snowdon, you're already sort of, 1,200 feet up before you start. So it is. If people think, climbing a mountain is hard, it's actually coming down. It's the worst on your knees. It's really, really bad, and that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, the worst bit for me was coming down at 3 o'clock in the morning down Ben Nevis, and all these people running past me going up at 3 o'clock in the morning, might I add, again, just for emphasis. And they're like,
drugs.
morning!
and I'm thinking, nutter.
Yeah, someone over you, yeah.
Why would you want to do that? And why would you be running?
Exactly. Well, mine needs to, because when I've run marathons and stuff like that for charity again, it's just my knees aren't any as good now.
Oh, no, I'm getting old. So anyway, that's in the morning you're doing your exercise. Do you have any sort of evening routine? Is there a sort of wind down process, or is it just sort of
glass of beer and go to bed? No, to be honest, I try, and it's not always easy. I mean, now there has to be a structure in the evening. The kids go to bed, April and I want to sit down. I try and switch off. We're not plugged into mains TV here in sense of terrestrial. We don't have channels here, so we watch a movie. I love watching movies. We've got a whole massive collection of movies. Normally we're working. There's so much to be done because we're building the farm site here. We're going to be launching the animal sanctuary. We're doing a crowdfunding campaign. That's now, because it's summer holidays now, that's going to be launched in September. Meadows Sanctuary it's called. So we're doing that. So there's always stuff to do, but I try and switch off. If I'm things, our days start early as well with everything going on. So I'm normally up by 6. So I'll try and be in bed by 10, 11 latest. So I'll try and switch off all computer technology. I don't like tech in the bed either. Just no phones or anything like that, because I just don't want it really. I want to have complete switch off at least an hour before. But really now, because the light, you can still be out at 10:45 at night. You still, it's bright enough because it's summer. But I will go up, put the goats to bed. Yes, not literally in bed, but I just make sure they're all tucked in, and they're not wandering around, because they are, the older two, they are tethered, because otherwise they will run out. I mean, it's about 20 foot of chains. They've got a lot of, they're not really constrained. They can still eat everything, which they are doing. But I make sure that they then go on a smaller leash, so they're inside, they're safe, because they've got little ones in there as well. And that's it. Make sure the horses are okay. They get a bit of food. They all get a bit of hay at night, and I come back. We'll have a shower if you really want to know, and then head off to bed. But that's essentially it. It's that wind down time for me. It's that wind down time, just being with the animals, and just April and I will walk around the farm. And just end up talking about business and stuff, I suppose, because we're both passionate about it, what we're doing. And that's really the wind down. It's just that connection. Just with both very busy lives, we work together a lot on the similar sort of stuff, and we're always talking about it. But at night, when it's that peace and quiet, because you don't hear anything around here. We're distance from the road, and all you hear is the river and the birds if they're still up. So we just walk around and chat, and then, just checking everything, talking about the farm and the ideas we've got and what we're going to be doing, and then that's it. It's a peaceful time.
So how do you keep healthy? You've talked a bit about exercise, and you talked about your diet. What sort of key factors are there for your health?
Well, it is about eating good quality food. We try and eat organic. Obviously, this year we are setting everything up because it is an organic farm. There's no pesticides being used here for about 20 years now. We will be growing our own organic veg. So there will be that. It's about eating good quality, clean food as well. I mean, I became a vegan probably about a year ago now. It's a normal transition. I became a vegetarian, but I don't drink coffee. I haven't drunk caffeine. I have decaf. I haven't drunk coffee probably about a year now, and all because I did a 3-day detox. And because I used to drink a lot of coffees, I would never use a spoon pouring the coffee in. I could literally stand a spoon up in it. And I had a headache after this 3-day detox. I had a headache for 2 weeks, and I thought, this is not good, so I'm going to give up coffee. It was a bit of a struggle, but I do not miss it at all. I like my tea, like a nice strong cup of tea. There is caffeine in there, but nothing to the strength that I was having it before with the coffee. I mean, I would overdo it. I really would. And I would feel I used to be very overweight. I don't know if you know my backstory. When I was 28, I was 23 stone, drink, drugs, and all the rest of it, and heading south very quickly. And it all turned around, got fit and healthy, lost 10 stone in weight in 18 months, and finished the London Marathon in 3 hours 45, having been a big chubber to achieving that, which is good. It sort of laid the groundwork for what I've achieved so far, really, the mindset. But in terms of staying healthy, having done that detox, I realised that the stuff I'm putting in my body has a massive effect on my mood, on my energy. And I can't eat red meat. I used to love steak, but I just can't eat it. I'm one of those people who just eat. I can't break it down. It's like eating concrete. The day after, I'm just what day? I feel like a lead weight in my stomach. It just doesn't agree with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought, and it was actually the fellow that I think you know, Steve Trister. Because he became a vegan after he watched this film called Earthlings, which is it's awful. If you want a shocking hour and 45 minutes or whatever. I haven't actually watched the whole film. I watched, I think, half an hour of it. Couldn't stop crying, and I thought, that's it. I could never touch anything like that again. It was just, I don't want to be part of this. I don't preach veganism, people to eat whatever they want. I want people to make their own choices and have a healthy life. I see a lot of people who struggle, and as I did with health and stuff like that. My weight is now my ideal weight. I feel full of energy. Yes, I get tired. Yes, I still get slumps in energy, but I know what can perk me up. So for me, it's just about eating good quality food. I try and eat fruit in the afternoon. I don't eat biscuits and cake and stuff like that, mainly because we don't have it. But I make homemade flat chacks and stuff like that, which is so easy to make. Anyone can make it. It's so very simple. I don't need a recipe. And the kids love it, and it's good stuff. You know, yes, you've got syrup in there. But stuff like that, regular exercise, plenty of water, fresh fruit and veg, and that's it. And eat a rainbow diet.
Yes.
You know, it's pretty simple. And exercise. You know, it's just, there's nothing difficult, to be honest. And that's what I learned, you know. I tried, do this diet, do that. No, exercise and eat healthy. That's it. And that's simple as that. It helps me. What I did notice before I did the detox, I always had a fog. You know, I'd be all tired, which would affect my mood, or I would just never really feeling great. But then when I cleaned my diet up, it was suddenly, oh my God, I can think clearly. My decisions are better. I just feel better. Everything seems to be better. So that for me, that's it works. Not for everyone, but yeah, it worked for me.
Yeah, cool. So change the subject a bit. What
Yes.
about how you sort of manage your time, make sure you get stuff done? Do you use a to-do list? Have you got particular apps or tools that you're using?
I created one I was looking at it, it's about 5-6 years ago, called my Get More Done Today system, which you can probably download. Free plug, there's a download. I have to find it now. It's a day planner. Let's have a look. Hang on.
Please
hang on. I'm just going to. Well, basically, what it is, it's something I created ages ago because I was speaking at an event. I don't know if I can find it now. I was speaking at an event, and I was talking to people about how you can, how your day can work better. And I just came across this thing, and I thought, yeah, here we go. This is how I plan my day. It was basically an aha moment, and it was how it was an old boss that said to me once, plan your day the night before, and it's something I've always done. So I created this system called my Get More Done Today system. I can't find the link for it at the moment, but if you email
we'll put it in the show notes. I'll remind you to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's essentially an A4 sheet of paper, really simple. I mean, I've tried all the gadgets and stuff like that, but I loved handwriting. I love using a bit of paper and a pencil, to be honest. I go to meetings with people using Mont Blanc pens, and I pull out a bloody pencil. But I just love the feel of it. I'm an artist as well, so I like the feel of it. Anyway, so it's a sheet, A4 paper, and I've designed it so you have from 8 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night in half-hour segments. On the right-hand side, it will have your people you need to call, top 10 people. And then underneath that, it's basically your priority list. First top 10, and then underneath that, it's not that important. So when I say important, what is urgent right now? Because other people think, I'll work on this bit. And you think, is it urgent? Are there other things which are a bit more pressing? So basically, when you fill it in the night before, and then sometimes I'll do 2 days in advance. Certainly if I come to a Friday, I try not to work at the weekends, it's family time. Actually, I only work 4 days a week now. Every Wednesday is family time because the kids' school is closed on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So April and I down tools and we just spend the day. It's good because you're still more productive. You're just as productive on the other days. In fact, you're probably more productive because you've only got 4 days. So it's good. I mean, I could probably when I started using this system, I could actually get more done in sort of 3 hours focused work than I did in like 2 days. It's phenomenal how much time you waste, certainly on social media. So it's a really simple sheet. I'm giving it away for free if people want it. And it's just plan your day. So when you start the next morning, whatever time you get into the office, bless you, that you don't think, what am I supposed to be doing today? And you then spend a couple of minutes trying to work out. And the other thing is on my email. Here's another hint. I have turned off my phone auto send and receive. Unless you're a paramedic or a doctor on call, you don't need to be on call all the time. I only check my emails at 10 o'clock in the morning and at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I have it. If people email me, you'll get a message saying, so I can focus on my clients, I only check the emails at 10 o'clock and 4 p.m.
Yeah.
So I just do it at those times. If I'm working with a client, sometimes I have to check them more often. But it's just little things like that. So that's how I plan my day. Just plan it the night before. So then when you've done it, you think, I know what I'm doing tomorrow, and you can forget about it. Just put it out of your mind. It's as simple as that. You've got it all written down. Great, you know what you're doing. And if you can schedule it, you think, right, I'm going to be working with Joe, I'm going to be doing this or whatever. That's going to take an hour of time. Okay, well, I'll block it out at that time. And obviously I've got my coaching calls as well, which I have set times, about 7 slots per week, which always they're in my diary, and people book online. It's an automated system, so that's already booked in. So I know when someone's booked in because it pops up on the calendar and I get a notification. Yeah. But really, it's just the essential thing is turn off auto send and receive. Try and check your emails just twice a day, and just plan your day the night before. It's as simple as that. So when you leave the office or your kitchen table, as I am now, you think, I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Yeah, that's really helpful. And are there any sort of tools or apps that you'd particularly recommend that you couldn't live without?
You couldn't live without. Well, my funny enough, I've probably my photography one. I love that. But in terms of planning my day, no, I just use Google Calendar. Yeah, that's the one I love. I'm just going to open up my phone now. Actually, no, essentially that is it. It's that. Certainly being in France, I use Google Translate a lot. But no, Google Calendar is just fantastic because all my system, all my scheduling is done automated through this business, this website. It's Timetrade or Time Driver, I think. Probably you. You put me onto that. It's a brilliant system. That links through to my Google Calendar. So essentially, that is it. But what I love, I've got the live phone. I was sitting at the lake yesterday when the kids are out swimming and happy we're running around, and I'm on my phone. And I'm running my business from there. It's fantastic. It's great. I mean, my business is now set up. I have an internet connection. I can work from anywhere. It doesn't matter. I try to come to London once a month if possible, which I met you last month. No, this month, because we're still in July. And because I was filming in London, I was being filmed for an interview. And it's great. I just come, I'll meet up with a load of people. I have a packed sort of 48 hours probably, get to meet as many people as possible. And I come back here. And that's essentially my networking. I've done thousands of networking events in my time. And how I've set the business up now, I don't need to. I can live. I hate the term. I don't hate it. It's a strong word. The old laptop lifestyle. But I suppose I'm living now. I suppose. Yeah. But it's the laptop farm lifestyle.
Yes, rather than the beach.
Indeed.
So, what about if things don't go right on a day? When it all sort of collapses around you? How does that all pan out?
I hit the bottle, Joe. Very hard. Very hard. Yes, and then you won't see me for 2 days. Now, of course, things do go wrong. Yeah, a lot of the time, blimey, especially on the farm, and I feel the goats have escaped, or I don't know what's happened, and
I just have this vision of you chasing around after these goats when you're in the middle of a coaching call or something.
Oh, it's hilarious. Well, I tell you what, April and I were working at the kitchen table one day, and we brought the ponies down to basically cut the back grass. It sounds a bit weird. They're not very good on the lawnmower, but they were eating because with the back garden is like an acre. It's a field essentially. Yeah. There's a river the other side, but we are tidying up because we want to make it really. There's a trampoline and that kind of stuff as kids like. But we brought them down and we closed off either end. But no, County, who's the bigger pony. There's Selena, who's literally she could stand under my leg. I mean, I'm 6'2". She could stand under my leg. She's so small, but she's so sweet. And they were around the front walking past. And I was like, oh, bloody hell, they've got out. So we're actually running out. And I just thought, this is hilarious. This is absolutely hilarious. But no, when things do fall apart, I think, it's life. It's essential. Yes, I still get angry. Oh, bloody hell, what's going on? But I have to think, in a day's time, a week's time, will it really matter? No, not really. What can you do? If you can't fix it right now, don't give it too much energy. I've had quite a few clients recently who, through issues of their own or whatever, some clients have a fear of success or whatever, they haven't fulfilled or they can't go through with the next lot of sessions, so, they can't pay for it or whatever the situation. I think, okay, fair enough. One door closes, it's not closing because they'll continue working with me or whatever. I think, but it will open up for something else. What I try and do is try and keep the energy. It's something I've learned over the last 2 years. It's about the energy. When I've come from a place of lack or a place of fear, worry, hate, whatever it is, you're going to attract more of that. When you come from a place of love, gratitude being the biggest thing. I've said before, gratitude is the language of the truly rich. When you come from that place, energy flows. When I was back in Wales at the farm with my parents' home, I've still got an office there, which I'm moving slowly everything back here or down here. And I was running down the beach, and it comes out to the beach, and I was running through the forest, and I crossed this beautiful wooden bridge. And this story will make sense in a minute. And there's a river running underneath it, fast-flowing river, a bit like here, but it's all very bubbly around here, the river. But so I'm looking on the left-hand side, the stream is flowing beautifully, absolutely no resistance at all. It's just flowing down. On the right-hand side of the bridge, there's all these rocks and boulders, and the water's spitting up and frothing and stuff like that. And I thought that's a brilliant example of how a lot of people's lives are, and including my own sometimes. And the boulders are what we put in our way. We trip ourselves up. It's maybe our negative thinking, our environment, or the food we put in the body, or whatever it is which stops that flow, the worries, fears, hates, whatever, the resistance. So we need to be really on the left-hand side of the bridge where everything's flowing. So what is stopping that flow at the moment? I mean, everything flows, health can flow naturally. We're born healthy. 99% of us, apart from the kids were born with horrible stuff, but but the majority of us. So what are we doing? What are we blocking or doing that's blocking that flow? Be it financially, be it abundance, in health, in love, or whatever. What are we doing? And it's about looking at that and always coming from a place of gratitude and love. Essentially, This is what I work with my clients as well. When they're saying, "Oh, it's just not happening," I think, "Well, I'm working with a guy at the moment. Obviously, confidentiality. I can't mention it, but." He has had struggles, and we've worked on his energy. Yes, I do branding and marketing, but I can step into that arena at some stage. I'm certainly not a life coach. I'll never tell you how to mend your relationships or anything like that. Because from my own learning, it has, from what I've discovered, that when you come from that place, it's like, if you come from a place of that, and I'll give you an example. It was probably about a year ago. I went out and spent a load of money at something. I don't spend frivolously, I'm save a lot, but anyway. And I had to go and spend a lot of money. It was on a Saturday, and I came out of the shop thinking, bloody hell, that's a big spend. I spent all this money, blah, blah, blah. I thought, hang on a minute, Simon, you're coming from a place of lack. Change that around. I thought, no, let's look at having gratitude. And I thought, aren't I so lucky that I have that money to spend, that I've had the clients, that I have the talents, the skills, or whatever, in order to attract that money, those clients, to me, in order for me to have that money to then spend, to keep that flow going, to keep the abundance flowing. Because we say, we're in a session, whatever. The money is still here. It doesn't leave the planet. The money is still here. It's just when you're blocking yourself, it won't flow. And I changed my energy, and suddenly I felt on cloud nine. I thought, this is fantastic. It really shifted. That night, I had a new client come in, paid me up front, and I made about 1,000 times more than I spent that day. And it was all from the energy. Yeah. And I've had it recently. There was a lot of stuff happening at the farm. There's a lot of expenditure because stuff. I think, oh my god, bloody hell, and suddenly, things are happening within the business. Why is that? Because I'm not coming from the right place. I'm coming from a place of lack. I'm the boulders in the river. I changed it, and things are picking up again. So every time I'm giving a little nudge, saying, "You're coming from the wrong place. Come from this place, and then you won't be the boulder." So step out of your own way. It's something I've learned from interviewing hundreds, if not thousands, of people now. That's one of the biggest things I've learned. Get out of your own way. Yeah. Find what the blocks are. And it happens. It sounds hippie. I don't care. It bloody works.
Okay, so what about thinking about learning and inspiration? Are there any sort of books or films or music or anything that you'd recommend to people?
Yeah, this is going to sound really weird. Pinterest.
Right.
Pinterest. I love going on Pinterest just to see. I'll put in inspiration, or I'll put in. If you put in motivation, you mostly get gym stuff coming up. People like work out and all that kind of stuff. But it's inspiration. I just love some of the stuff on there. I follow other Facebook pages, and I'm inspired by the people I interview. I don't get a lot of time. I love to read, but Joe, when I go to read, I normally read in bed, which means I fall asleep within half a page, and I end up reading the same page about 5 nights in a row. Going, I'm going to bloody finish this in a minute before I fall asleep. I just, it's so I'll read when I'm on holiday, I suppose. Yeah. But in terms of I just from social media, I get a lot of inspiration. I watch what other people are doing in my arena, and see what they're doing. And I love the line that Jim Rohn, the late great business philosopher Jim Rohn, said, "Don't wish it was easier. Wish that you were better." I think, what can you do to be better? Just things like that. I've got his book of quotes. Seeing stuff on Pinterest on the inspiration, the people that comes up there, the key inspirers on the planet. I just listen to what they've said, what they've written, and that's enough for me. I have enough around me, I suppose. I don't need to have all the stuff. April and I work together, and we inspire each other. We push each other forward. April came back last week from Downing Street, what she's doing with charities, and that inspires me. My clients inspire me when I see where they've done. The people I interview from One Planet One Place, they inspire me to carry on doing what I'm doing, to create more, to have more, to have a better life, really, and to help the people around me.
Yeah. So on a day when you end the day, knowing that you've had the chance to live more, as I call it, so, do the stuff that you want to do rather than the stuff that you have to do or, feel like you should do, what have you done? What's that day looked like?
I have served my clients. I've made a difference to them. And I have literally minute before I jumped on this call with this interview with you, I was working with a client who's over in Ireland, and we're working together with a client in Spain. And I know I've made a big difference to her. And we ended the call. She said something, and I said, "Have a look at this. Have a look at this. I think this will really help you." And I gave her something, and she said, "That's amazing. Thank you so much. That's made a difference already." I figured that's great. And I love the line, "True success is knowing that someone else has breathed more easily because you've been there."
I like that.
I keep forgetting the guy's name who said it. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But it's true. I think if I've made a difference to someone else, and at the moment it's summer holidays, so if the kids, if they've had a good day, they've had fun, they've had a good meal or whatever it might be, the animals have been fed. It's just, to be honest, it's simple things. I'm not big money. Yes, we've got all this around us and the acres and stuff like that, and we've got some amazing things happening, which will bring in a huge chunk of change. But I think of that. I think, what can we do with that? What good can we do with that money? About keeping it in the flow. So for me, it's about what I've done with my clients, how I've inspired them, with the kids, and. What have I done for myself as well? I went round the lake this morning, so that for me made a difference to me, my energy. So that's essentially that's how I know I've done a good day. Yeah,
excellent. Thank you. So we're almost at the end of the interview. So how can people find out more about you and connect up with you? What would you like them to do?
Go to simonjordan.com, Jordan, and it's on there. I'm just about to launch a new website as well, because I'm bored with that one now. I've got a new one. It will be
great. It's trouble when you do websites, isn't it? You can easily do that.
I know. Well, yeah, but I'm fussy. So yeah, it's on there. Or go to One Planet One Place. Connect with me on Twitter at the Simon Jordan, Facebook as well as the Simon Jordan. I think, yes. Anyway, go to simonjordan.com and it's all on there, connections. But the Facebook page as well for One Planet One Place. It's spelt O-N-E, One Planet, One Place. So put that on there. Connect. Yeah. And if you've heard this interview, send me an email saying, loved what you're doing. If you want the day planner, Joe will put that on the site if I can find the link. If not, email me anyway. But yeah, I'd love to connect. I'm on Instagram and lots of other little things, but it's all on there. You'll find it. So But thank you very much, Joe. Thank you. It was a real pleasure. It's lovely to speak to you as always.
Yeah, no, thank you. Really enjoyed talking to you and hearing about all of your very rustic life now.
Yes, indeed.
In a different place. So great to hear that. And I'm a little bit envious of the easy way that you can go out into the farm and sit down on the grass with the animals and relax.
But to be honest,
like that in my garden.
Yep. This time of year though, all the bloody horse flies around. You sit down for like 5 seconds. And go, we're bloody bitten.
That was right to say. I'm not envying you so much now.
No, but it is good. But you're okay with the goats. It seems the horses and stuff, but no.
Yeah. I'll go and sit in my garden and appreciate there aren't any horseflies there now. I'll play the glad game.
Yes. No,
excellent. Well, thanks, Simon. Anyway, have a good evening.
And you take care. Bye.
Joe's Gems.
This is the part of the show where I do a recap of the key points of the interview, the stuff that I really liked, and the apps, books, music, tips and tools that were shared. This is for you if you heard something that you want to check out, but you couldn't write it down at the time. Hopefully I've got you covered. And this is the bit for the really time-pressed. You can just listen here and get the gems from the interview, but of course I wouldn't suggest you do that and miss out on the great conversation that I had with Simon Jordan. We talked about various tools and apps. Simon uses his Get More Done Today system to stay organised and get stuff done. It's a day planner with the planning completed the night before, and it's free to download. He uses Google Calendar for diary scheduling and planning, and Google Translate as he lives in France and he's learning the language, something I found useful recently too. He uses Timetrade, as I do as well, to allow people to schedule calls and meetings automatically into his diary. Simon says he uses his iPhone extensively to run his business, even from the side of the lake. And he likes to use Pinterest to search for inspirational motivation to find ideas and people to connect with. Some of the tips that he shared. He talked about charity Silverline, where he regularly volunteers to speak with lonely people. Simon tries to exercise most mornings outside, and he says it gets the blood pumping and it's my time. He recommends no tech for the last hour before bed. He eats a good quality clean diet and is vegan. And he says, I only work 4 days a week now. Every Wednesday's family time because the kids' school is closed on a Wednesday. April and I down tools and we spend the day. It's good because you're still more productive. You're just as productive on the other days. In fact, you're probably more productive because you know you've only got 4 days. So it's good. When I started using this system, I think I got more done in 3 hours focused work than I did in 2 days. It's phenomenal how much time you waste, especially on social media. And he says, when it's all going wrong, I have to think in a day's time, a week's time, will it really matter? No, not really. What can you do? If you can't fix it right now, don't give it too much energy. He also says, gratitude is the language of the truly rich. When you come from that place, energy flows. He says, I only check my emails at 10 o'clock in the morning and at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And that time blocking is key in managing his diary, scheduling blocks of time in for the week in advance, like for coaching or for other projects. And he says that he loves the line that Jim Rohn wrote, don't wish it was easier, wish that you were better. And he also talked about the line, true success is knowing that someone else has breathed more easily because you've been there. To contact Simon, you can go to simonjordan.com. You can also find him on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. And you can also go to his website, oneplanetoneplace.com. And you can also find One Planet, One Place on Facebook. Of course, all this information is available on the show notes on the website. And you just need to go to powertolivemore.com/5.
Use your power to live more.
Don't forget to go to powertolivemore.com/5 to find all the links, and I look forward to speaking to you next time.